Hello and welcome to Creativity TV. On today's show we are joined by Becky James again. Hi Becky.
Hi Emma.
So this looks really interesting, all these bits and pieces. What are you going to be doing today?
Well, we've got lots of squares of paper here today that we're going to be doing some paper folding with. We're going to do some interesting things like butterflies and tulips and a little parasol. We're going to start with a fairly simple fold, and this is to make some butterfly wings.
Right, okay.
Now, I've actually put already on my paper here one of the butterfly bodies from the X-Cut butterfly dies.
Right, okay.
And the butterfly wings I'm going to make for this, that fit perfectly with this body size, are 3-inch squares.
Right, okay.
And so that's what I'm going to start with. And I've got here some of the Happy Days papers because they're really sort of bright and vivid.
Fits well,
they
doesn't
do,
it?
yeah, absolutely. So the design that I want to have on the front is my floral design. So I'm going to turn my paper over and we're going to work from the back.
Right.
So the first thing that I need to do is to find my centre point, and I'm going to do that first of all by taking one corner and folding along the centre there. And I like to use my burnisher from my X-Cut burnisher set and just give that a really nice crease because it makes sure it's nice and sharp. And then I'm going to do exactly the same in the opposite direction, and this gives me my centre point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take my top corner here and I'm going to fold it down so that it comes just below the flat edge here. So let's do that there. And then what I'm now going to do again is fold from this centre point, and I'm going to just basically push the card up so that it goes just about halfway along the diagonal that was there.
Right, okay.
So, and just give it a fold. And there you go, you've got your little, those are your little wings
it's a bit
there.
like origami, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It is a little bit like origami. But also the nice thing about having that crease at the centre is if you want to give it a little bit of detail there,
yeah,
and a little bit of dimension, you can just pull those bits up there. So what I'm going to do, I've already got another one made here, and I'm going to attach them to my butterfly.
Right, okay.
I'm going to use some of the Stick It XL glue dots. So I'm just going to pop one of those under there. Just take the backing off. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip about how to attach these because they're fairly symmetrical, but quite often butterflies have a bigger wing at the top, don't they, and a smaller wing at the bottom.
Yeah.
So the way to actually get round that is to make it, it's almost like an optical illusion, is if you put this bottom wing closer to the body and the top wing further away, it gives that
right, okay,
that optical illusion of the top wing being bigger.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Wow.
And then if you just want to, I have just on my butterfly card, all I've done is just added a few little gems up the centre, and that adds a little bit of glitz, or you could add perhaps some glitter glue or something like that.
So you have made a card, haven't
Yes.
you, that has got this on it,
Yeah.
so you can see the finished piece there. How beautiful is that? I would never have thought about doing that on my card.
And it's so simple.
It's so beautiful.
So we're going to move on next to what they call the tulip fold. And again, this is a fairly simple fold, but this time we're going to use 2 different size pieces of paper. And the way that this works best is if you use dimensions that are easily divided into 5.
Right, okay.
So my largest square is 2.5 inches, and my next square down is 2 inches. So
right, okay.
I've moved down a 1/5 in my dimensions. This is a really simple fold. Again, I'm going to start with the back of my paper upwards, and we're going to find that centerpiece again. So I've now got my center point here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move from that center point just upwards, and so I've got a little point here, and I'm just going to again give that a little fold.
Right, okay.
And do the same on the other side so that it's fairly even, and that's going to make the back, just hold it, there you go, and that's actually going to be the back of my tulip.
Right, okay.
So my smaller one is going to sit directly on top of that.
Right.
So we're going to do exactly the same with this one. It's completely the same fold. Find the centre point again. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to pop a little glue dot on the back of that. And again, I can just crease that little front of the tulip out so that it's got a little bit of dimension. If we pop that on there. And then again I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of here. And we're going to stick this directly over the top. So you can see how it sits like that.
That's wonderful.
And then if you actually look at the finished card, what I've done is I've put some little gems here, some of the capsule collection gems here, just to get a little
stem.
and to just give a finishing point at the bottom of the flower as well.
Yeah.
Now the next one is a little bit more complicated, and it's going to actually make a parasol when it's finished. So here I've chosen the cherries because they're really quite cheerful, nice and colourful for this design. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to start with my bottom paper upwards, as it were, and I'm going to find that centre point again. Now the next thing that I have to do is work again from my underneath the design that's underneath, and I'm going to take one corner and I'm going to push that up to that centre point and make a crease.
Right.
And at this point I'm going to turn the paper over. And now what I'm going to do is take the corner of the flat side here,
right.
And again I'm going to move that up towards the centre line so that I'm going to see some of the underneath coming through. But just so that you know where you are, if I just hold that up, it actually makes a little square at this point, but you've just got these side panels with the design that's underneath. So I'm going to turn back over now to the underneath side again, and I've got two lines here.
Yeah.
And what I need to do now is just take those lines and fold them in towards the centre line. So again, and just crease those. And just do the same from the side. So there's a centre line up here, you just take that fold and you almost force it into the centre. Now the next thing to do is there's a little corner here, and I'm going to pull that down so that it meets the centre again. There we go. So I've just got some glue dots here. I'm just going to pop those little bits that I've just folded over, I'm just going to pop some glue dots underneath there, and that will just stick everything down here. And so you've got that sort of design on the back, which actually is probably the more complicated looking side of it, but the side that we're actually going to use is this little sort of diamond fold at the front here. So what the next thing that we do is we need to make a little cone for this all to sit on, and I've started with an X-cut nesting die circle. This is the largest but one of the sizes that I've started with here. So what we're going to do now is to start to add the parts of the parasol round. So we're going to add these all onto the cone. And I'm going to show you a few, and then what we can do is have a look at the finished design, and you'll see how it all fits together. So I'm just going to pop a couple of glue dots on here, one at the top and one at the bottom of that back section. Just pull that off. And then I'm just going to go from the centre of the cone and just move it down, and it sticks in place like that. Okay. So we're going to take the next one and do exactly the same. So all I'm going to do, can you see, I just slot that bit in there.
So they join at the top.
They join at the top. Yeah, and that's it. So you're just popping, and the next one goes in like that. And you just follow it round until you get to, you get it all covered. And then it's up to you. If you want to leave these bits so that they stand proud, you can do. Or if you want it to just be a little bit flatter, what you can do is just get another glue dot, pop that just in the crease there, and just take out the backing. And if you just pop that down, it'll make sure everything sits a little bit neater. Right. So if I can just pick up the finished project here, which is this one here. This is taking all 7 all the way around, and then you can decorate it how you want to.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much for showing us those 3 wonderful techniques in paper folding. Remember, if you have a go at making any of these beautiful paper folding techniques, then please do drop me an email at tv@docrafts.com, and I do read them all. It would be great to know what you think, how much fun you've had. I'd love to see the photographs, and I will mention you on a future episode of Creativity TV. It'd be great to actually revisit this and show some of our viewers' takes on what they've done.
Yeah,
so
really great.
Do get in touch with me, that'd be great. You can get hold of all the step-by-steps to have a go at all these techniques right here in the Creativity Club. For now, I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. Happy crafting.